This video is brought to you by...
You already know what it is. Cool Green Clothing. We done gone worldwide, and we coming straight out of Baltimore. And if you in town, pull up on us at 215 West Saratoga Street. And if you not in town, go online right now at coolgreenclothing.com and make your purchase. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way. And that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. It's free. It helps get the video out there. Definitely watch this video to the end so you can hear the full story and all the details in the case. Everything in this video is alleged. For my day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you're feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. With that being said, let's get right into the story. I know ever since I was a little boy, I would always hear old heads talking about the new generation and how much worse they were than them. The men who grew up in the 60s and 70s, when there was still a sense of love, pride, and unity in the black community, talk about the generation after them that came in the 80s and 90s, where drugs, gangs, and guns flooded the streets. Then after that generation got older, or unfortunately lost their lives or freedom during that era, now you have my generation, late 80s babies who were outside in the late 90s, early 2000s. Even though the generation before us had a lot going on, they used to tell us as hoppers we were worse than them and didn't listen and had no respect or guidance. Now that I'm pushing 40 myself, I hate to say it, but now I'm looking at the newer generation saying the same thing. It seems like things got worse for them. It doesn't seem like it's about money or survival, it's for the sport. The hoppers call it catching a hat or body, where it's cool not to get money, but to beef, have ops. They have bigger guns, more access. You can literally go on social media, see where your so-called op is at, find them off a location, or zoom in to a house they took a picture at. Now you have the address. While they have whatever they have going on, the disadvantage they have that they never seem to understand or think about is technology. Cameras on every house and corner. The same thing they use to find the ops, the phones, it's the same thing, tracking you after the fact. And after this story, y'all let me know, have things got better or worse? And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll be discussing the case of a 17-year-old walked into the store when he was ambushed. Back in 2024, 17-year-old Denzel Johnson was trying to navigate life in Baltimore. Described as a cool little dude who for the most part was laid back and stayed to himself until it was time to have fun. Then he became the life of the party. Like most young men his age trying to find their way, Denzel was trying to get in where he fit in this world and find ways to make him some money. It's not clear what he was into, but he often rotated in West Baltimore. On a nice spring day, May 25th, 2024, Denzel was with a friend, a 15-year-old teen, and they were outside in West Baltimore by North Dukeland. Being typical teens, they were just bopping to the store, laughing, geeking, when out of nowhere, a car crept up and shots went off before it fled the scene. Witnesses called BPD, who responded to the location to find both Denzel and his friend hit. Both young men were rushed to a local hospital, where the 15-year-old survived his injuries. But unfortunately, at just 17 years old, Denzel would pass away from his. At first, no one knew exactly what happened. The grandmother of the 15-year-old spoke out, stating they were just walking to the store, minding their business. Now her grandson was shot, laying in the hospital, fighting for his life, and his friend lost his life. She stated it doesn't even feel safe no more to leave your house and do nothing. She felt there was no more love or humanity in the world. People just didn't care. But police now had a homicide on their hands and needed answers. They focused in on city cameras and private cameras from homes on the block. Video caught a car creeping as the two young men were bopping. A man leaned out the back seat window and opened fire. The tags were caught on video, and a search of the tags gave police a big tip. The getaway car was a rental that was overdue for return and had a tracking device on it. Now police were on a hunt. A bolo was put out for the car, and later that same night, it was spotted in Southwest Baltimore. As police got on his heels, the vehicle fled. Police closed in. They could see it was two men inside the car. They saw a flame, and it seemed they were trying to set the car on fire to get rid of evidence. Once that didn't work, the men fled on foot. One was caught coming out the woods on Stokes Drive. He was identified as 22-year-old Corey Hobson, but the other man in the car got away. Inside the car was a lighter and equipment that seemed to match with setting the car on fire and getting rid of evidence. Corey had a cell phone on him, and even though he didn't say nothing, police used cell towers and data from his phone to see what other number pinged in the same location of the car. They got a hit for another man, 26-year-old Charles Robinson, and Charles was seen in the same vehicle days prior. Eventually, both young men were taken into custody, charged with first-degree and second-degree hit, attempt, and firearm violations. No motive was ever given on why they targeted the young men. As the case made its way to court, it was packed, with Denzel's family, Corey's, and Charles' family as well. The evidence was overwhelming, including cell phone data with both their phones pinging at the crime scene, surveillance footage, and also the rental car. Prosecutors pointed to it as a brazen ambush, broad daylight, and they stated it seemed either young man had any regard for life. Denzel's family spoke out about the impact his loss had on them. They wanted justice, and it seemed they would get just that. Both young men were found guilty on all charges. Corey's lawyer stated he needed proper rehabilitation and that the young man was sorry for his actions. But with a history of drug possession and probation violations, he was smashed and sentenced to life in prison plus 30 years. Charles' family asked the judge to be lenient, claiming everyone makes mistakes and he had no history of violence. They stood up for his sentencing, but the judge felt the act was too bold, and Charles was also sentenced to life plus 30 years in prison. No motive for the ambush was ever given. Rest in peace to Denzel. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. At 17, in your mind, you are grown and you know what's going on in the world, but really, you are just a baby. Since 17, I have learned so much more about life, myself, the world, and people. My whole outlook is different, and I'm sure if most young men get the chance, theirs will be too. For Charles and Corey, life plus 30 is crazy in your 20s. Reality will hit one day when they look up with gray hairs and realize I'm probably never going home. I don't know what Denzel was into or what the beef was about, but whatever it was, it caused 3 young men lives to be gone. Like we was talking about earlier, crime has been happening. Some people feel like it's getting better. Others feel like it's getting worse. I know people that live and bleed Baltimore that I never thought would leave a city that's gone because it's too much for them. There's nothing we can do about what our kids see and intake from the internet. A lot of us was tricked into thinking the streets was cool. Beefing with people with the same struggles who look just like us was cool. Prison was cool. As you get older, you realize that's all lies. But my question is, are we too far gone as a people to come back? And do you think it will keep getting worse? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, man, rest in peace that young man. I definitely send my prayers to his family. But I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. Y'all leave it in the comments. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. This is another episode of the Baltimore Way. It's your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.